Hi, my name's Siobhan, and I've wanted to experiment using vibe coding for a couple of months now, and I've always procrastinated because I have not got a clue as to how and where to start. So I did a little bit of research. When I say research, I asked Claude, it was what are the first steps to do this? And so if you want, come on this journey with me and we can take a look as to what we can do to actually start vibe coding. And this is from a real beginner's perspective. I've got a tiny bit of coding experience, but other than that, I am a complete novice to coding. So to start off with, I want to learn the basics of vibe coding. To start, I want to create an app for me to track my weight on the keto diet and plan meals. So in January, like a lot of people, I decided I want to look at my diet, and keto was one of the ones that appealed to me. I went on the App Store to see if there's any apps to help me, and as always, every app charges for monthly subscriptions, or it is really ad heavy. So I thought I would take a little look and see if there's anything that I can do in terms of vibe coding. So here we go. I paused the video for a minute or two there just to let Claude go off and do its thing. So now you'll see we've made a start. So Claude is saying, I'll help you learn vibe coding by creating a keto tracking app. Vibe coding is all about building things quickly and intuitively, focusing on making it work and feel good rather than perfect architecture. Let me check some best practices. So it's put some suggestions in here. So it's telling us what vibe coding is and what it's about. And then it's told me what it's built for me. So let's take a look. So we've got a weight tracker, log your weights and see progress on the chart. We've got meal planning, track meals and macros and carbs, data persistence, everything saves automatically using browser storage, and live stats. So we've got some design choices, which I may have to change. So we've got some nice warm emerald and teal gradient. We've got some fonts here, and we've got some smooth hovers, which we can see demonstrated there. And then it goes over the approach. So instead of spending hours planning architecture, I've just built something that works and looks good. Let's see what we've got here. So, so that's our overview here. And then we can log in here. First off, um, I've got no idea how much I weigh in pounds. So before we move on, let's just quickly go in here. Please, can you able to switch and see if this works? Okay, so Claude has been going for about 30 seconds now. He's saying, I'll add a unit toggle for you. This is a perfect example of vibe coding, adding features quickly as you need them. So we can see the steps here that Claude is going through. Redefining the weight measurements, displaying components, update total stats, etc., etc. Okay, I'll pause here and we'll come back when he's finished. Okay, it looks like we're done. So we've got an overview of what has been added. Added switch to kg pounds button appears over the tabs, always accessible. Smart conversions, weights are stored in pounds internally, but display as chosen units. So let's go and take a look. Okay, weight tracking, log your weight. Interestingly, switch to kg. That might be a bit of a placement issue, considering I couldn't find it initially. Okay, let's have a look here. So I'm just going to put some kilograms in. Okay, so even though we've switched to pounds, I still see that the graph looks like it's, sorry, we switched to kg, it still looks like it's in pounds. So I think we need to fix that. Okay, so what I'm going to ask is, thanks, can you position the switch, sorry, can you position the switch to kg button in the log your weight box and switch the graph to reflect kgs or pounds selection. So we'll go off again. Apologies for my typing and spelling errors here. Okay, so let's see where we are here. Claude said I've moved the toggle button into the weight login box and made sure the graph displays the correct unit. So let's go and have a look, see what we've got. Ah, that's a lot better. So we can switch to kg right here. So let's have a look. And we have got kilos here. Let's just switch back to pounds. Excellent. So Claude has done exactly as we've asked. This looks like a much better user experience from me. And we've got an overview here of exactly what's been done. Okay, so let's continue to look through what we've got. So we've got a weight history here, which is also in pounds. Let's just check if we do switch to kgs. It has changed here as well, so that's good. And that is also reflected in our current weight. What I would like here, I think, is the option to add a date so that I know the date that I'm logging for, just in case I want to backdate some of my weights or I forgot to add my weight in on a certain day. Okay, so I'm going to ask, can you include an option to add a date to the weight I am logging? Okay, here we go. So done. I've added a date picker for logging weights. Here's what's new. Date picker, that's optional. Past dates only. You can't select future dates, which kind of makes sense, I suppose. Automatic sorting, full year display. Okay, let's have a little look. Excellent. Okay, so let's switch to kgs again. Let's see if we can add past date. So I'm going to go back and add a date. Okay. Oh, I thought it hadn't kept my last date, but that's because the data has been cleared. So let me put in another date here. Excellent. So now we can see that we've actually started to build up a history of weights and it's reflected in our graph. Let's just switch to pounds. Excellent. So everything is reflected. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Oh, it even tracks how much I've lost. Let's switch to kgs. Excellent. So that is really starting to track my weight loss. Okay, so let's have a look and see what we've got in meal planning. Okay, we can add a meal. So I am going to add grilled salmon as it suggested and add a meal. Okay, so here I don't know the carb content, protein content, fat content and calories for grilled salmon. So this is where I really need some AI functionality. So let's ask Claude what we can do. So I've added in here, can you include an AI lookup to determine the carbs, protein, fat and calories? Let's see how we do. Okay, so what we've got here, Claude has said, I'll add an AI-powered nutrition lookup feature. This will use Claude to automatically fill in the nutritional information based on the meal's name. Okay, let's go and have a look to see what we've got. We have got meal planning and a lovely little button here. Let's see if it works. Oops. Okay, it's giving me some text here. Enter a meal name and click AI lookup. Let's go again. Claude salmon. AI lookup. Okay, so we have got some information in these boxes. I'm not sure if that's correct, and it's quite difficult because we've lost any of the titles from these boxes, so I don't actually know which boxes refers to which. I know that's calories, maybe protein, fat, and sorry, carbs. Let's add the meal. There we go. Okay, so then we've got a nice breakdown here of what is in the grilled salmon. Now, there's no weights here, but I will go off and sense check this to make sure it's okay. Before I do that, I do want to have an indication of what's actually in these boxes when we click AI lookup. Okay, I'm not sure if this makes sense, so we'll come back and we'll see if Claude can actually decipher what on earth I mean. I'm saying in the boxes populated by the AI lookup, the cell title vanishes. Can you show the titles above the boxes? Let's see what we get from this. And in the meantime, I'm just going to go off and check to see if these figures are correct. Okay, so let's have a look and see what we've got here. Okay, we'll click on meal planning. Excellent. This is a lot better. So I am going to put in small grilled salmon, do an AI lookup, and now this is a lot clearer. I have done I've asked Gemini regarding the accuracy of this, and we seem to be fairly accurate. I think if we're a lot more specific about what we put in here, and then we'll obviously get some better answers out. We can see this has changed. So this is obviously off a medium grilled salmon, and I've specified small. So I'm going to add it to the meal plan. There we go. Okay, let's continue looking through our app. So we've got our meal plan, which is great. We've got our weight tracking. Now, what I would like in here is, once I've planned my meals, is to be able to add it to a shopping list. So let's go ahead and ask Claude if this is possible. Okay, so this is what I'm going to ask. Can you create some shopping list functionality? I'd like to be able to add what is on my meal planner to my shopping list, but only the meals I specify. I'm worried that if I say add to shopping list, it will look at all of my meals from the last 2 weeks and add everything to my shopping list. So I want to be able to specify exactly what meals I want to add. So let's see what we come back with. Right, looks like we have some success here. Claude says, I've added a full shopping list functionality. Here's what's new. Shopping list tab, add to list button, interactive shopping list, and smart features. Like can't add the same meal twice, data persists between sessions, empty state with helpful guidance. Excellent. So let's have a little look. It's even telling me exactly how to use it, which is useful. So go to the meal planning tab. That's the meal. Let's do AI lookup. It's our meals. So we've got a nice new button here. Let's add to list. Let's see if this works. Grilled salmon. Okay, let's do one more test. Toast. Not very keto. AI lookup. Okay. We'll add to meal plan. And then we add to list. excellent. So that functionality works. However, there's a slight flaw here. Let me just take this off. Okay. You can't buy toast. You might be able to buy toast in the supermarket, but I think here we probably need to see if we can add some AI into the meal plan so that the that Claude will look at what's here and potentially break it down into the components of the meal. So I would expect, as you probably are aware, that this will need a loaf of bread. So let's see if we can build something in there to really enhance the functionality of this app. Okay, so now I'm going to ask, can we add some AI to the Your Meal Plans section that will allow AI to look up basic recipes for the item on the meal plan and suggest ingredients to add to the shopping list. So let's see what we get back from this prompt. Okay, so we look like we've got some new features here for the AI recipes. So we've added a get recipe and ingredients button. So let's go and have a look. Let's go to meal planning. Oh, get recipe and ingredients. Let's just give it a whirl straight away. Looking up recipe. Oh, nice. Oh, so it's given us a keto-friendly toast here by the looks of it. Almond flour, baking powder, salt, eggs and butter. It's as good as any. I'm going to add this to the shopping list, but it looks like we may have an issue here because if this is incorrect, we haven't got an option to be more specific or change the ingredients. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. In the meantime, I'll click add to shopping list. And then we'll go to the shopping list. Oh, and we can see that we've got, and this is nice, we've got our ingredients added here, and then we've got 4 toast here as well. So let me just try something else. Avocado salad. I'll do an AI lookup here. And then we'll add this meal. And we'll click the button to get the ingredients. Oh, nice. So avocado, cucumber, olive oil, salt, cherry tomatoes, red onion, lemon juice. So it looks like what it's doing here, it's intentionally making the meals keto friendly. So that's a really nice bit of intelligence that Claude is using there. Really building context into the prompt for creating the recipe. So what we need to do now is again look at the functionality to maybe redo the ingredients or add more context potentially if this is actually wrong. Okay, so I've said, oh, I love it. I'd like the option to refresh the suggested recipe or add more context if the shopping list is wrong. So I'm not sure what this actually looks like. I can't really visualize it. So it'll be really interesting to see what take Claude has on it. Okay, so this has now been added context and refresh functionality. So let's go and have a look to see what this actually looks like. Okay. So, oh, we've got a refresh button here. Okay, so this is interesting. So update context and refresh. So it's asked me to be more specific. So does it serve for? Is it dairy free? Is it budget friendly? Okay, very interesting. Okay, so let's refresh this for the toast. I will say this is for 2 people and we are on a cheat. Want white bread and butter. Let's see. Okay, excellent. White bread, butter, and a nice little bit of salt. Excellent. We're going to add this to the shopping list. the shopping list. And we've got butter, salt, and white bread. This is excellent. Okay, I'm really pleased with the progress that I've made on this app. There's lots of refinements that I'd love to keep doing, but I think we've got to a point where we've really built something that's actually usable without having to pay for subscriptions, etc. And you can see from how easy it has been just to create this simple app that we can just go on, continue to add stuff that is personal to us and that we would actually use as an individual, um, and really look at the functionality and really define exactly how you would like it to work. I think if I was to go on refining this app, it would be things like sorting out the spacing in some of the areas here, have a confirmation when I click add all to shopping, because when I click there it doesn't feel like it's done anything. So I think something like that would be nice. But I think after spending 40 minutes or so creating this app, I think we've probably saved ourselves some subscription money on some of these paid apps. I think other things that you could also go and do is look at the formatting, look at the colours, but I'm pretty pleased with this. As my first stab at vibe coding, I think we've created something that is usable. And to share this, you can publish your artifact, and then you can use that link to go and open it on your phone, so that you can actually use it day to day. So we'll have a look, and here we go. Obviously it's not on the phone, but you've got your instance here where you can go and use it. So, well, I hope you've enjoyed this. I want to continue this series. I want to start learning more about vibe coding, really exploring what can I create and what can be created. I'd also like to start looking at some basic automations as well. I see a lot of content around about how automations can really streamline what you're doing, streamline things like social media posts, automate, generate automated content, and people are talking about it, but I actually want to show people exactly how to do it by feeling it out myself. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this, and see you next time.